Hey, beautiful people. Andrew the Realtor here, and with my August newsletter, Housing Market Update. Long title there. So, get right into it. As I promised, I'm going to try to make these as lean and mean as possible. However, I wanted to put in quite a bit of good information, specifically this month. And I say that seemingly every month, but something always happens. And this time, there's not even a Q&A at the end because, to be honest, the questions that I've been getting are pretty much the same ones I've been getting for the past few months. What's going to happen in the market? So instead, I'm going to give you guys very specific numbers that you guys really need to know, especially because what is happening on the news now, ever since the interest rates went up a whole point, and before that several more times, there has been some, I'll explain to you and you'll see some of that in the newsletter. So let me get right to it. As always, guys, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate the compliments and the encouraging words in the last month from a few of you. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it. So this was good information. I had some issues with YouTube, so I didn't get as many views as I was hoping, only a few hundred, I think, and some on a different channel. But anyway, do subscribe and hit like, comment, whatever in the YouTube section if you see this on YouTube. And regardless, here it is. I'm going to get right this too because it's really important. I really want you guys to see the numbers I'm talking about this month specifically. So without further ado, let's talk about July numbers and what it means for us now in this month of August 2022. Let's see, new camera. Hopefully this works out well. That good enough for me. Okay, guys. So as I do every time, I'm going to show you guys these numbers, and I want you, excuse me, to notice there's the blue circles. The blue circles are just going to be stuff that for you to just think about, and then we're going to get into the red, which is the important ones. So first and foremost, this is the stuff that you're going to be seeing. Tumbling, housing market, sales tumbled, sales plunged. Plunge and tumbling, look for those two words. You'll see them in probably good 20, 30 times in most articles and news reports recently about the housing market. The reality is, again, we're always comparing to 2021. 2021, as you guys might recall, was a record year. Not only a record year, most of the months were record months in terms of sales, and July was no exception. So we have record month over here in the history of the Toronto Real Estate Board, and then we have a normal month here. Naturally, it's a big tumble, and you'll see why. Interesting point. Considering all the things that have been happening, and we're going to talk about two things in this update: inventory, sales, and we're going to talk about prices. You guys need to know this stuff. So first and foremost, on average, we're still up 1.2. So in essence, if you look up and down, you'll see some of the detached, semi, townhouse, and condo. Some are up, still single digits, and some, in the case of detached, for example, is down. Now, these are average numbers, so overall, the prices right now are still a little bit higher for most properties than they were this time last year, which is interesting considering everything that's happening. That's actually still pretty good, especially if you own property. And detached have been the furthest lagging behind. And one of the reasons is detached is such a large group. I mean, it's from smaller prices all the way up to multi millions. So the important aspect here, again, sales are down, way down. And you'll see this. If you look at how many new listings we put up last month, not many at all, less than we even did in July. And that's new properties onto the market. And then you have actual active listings. So active listings last month, July, were about 15,300. And the reality is, right now, we're very close to that too, interestingly. Now, it passed in the first week of August. So active listings in this time last year were 9,700. So if you look at it this way, 9,700 active listings, 1,500 now. And pretty much the same amount of new listings coming on the market. Clearly, people are not buying, hence the 47.4% lower sales volume last month. Obviously, not nearly as many people are buying this summer as there were last summer for many reasons, the main things being interest rate hikes and those kind of things. However, the market continues resilient. I'm going to tell you about a couple of things to really get you guys thinking, especially if you know somebody who's been thinking of possibly entering the market. I talk about this every month, especially this year. And they're thinking, oh, I'm going to wait or this and this. They're trying to figure out what is the condition of the market right now. What's it going to be? I'll show you a couple of really important factors. So finishing this up, prices very similar to that of last year, a little bit up in most areas. Most of the smaller properties like condos, townhomes, and semis and such, and detached, depending on where, are roughly about the price they were last year. You would think people will start thinking, wait a second, I have this large inventory, which is the same right now in the beginning of August, and the prices are like here. I should consider buying. Let me tell you more about that. Glad you brought it up. So first thing, context, very, very important. So what is the effect of 1% rate? And my last issue, that was the big headline. My last newsletter was the 1% interest rate hike, which pushed us up from from a 0.75 before and a point 0.5. So the point is, we're higher than we have been in probably 2 or 3 years at least in terms of mortgage interest rates. Now, interestingly, notice this fact. I waited till after the first week of August to do this update because I wanted to wait for the numbers of the first week. Interestingly, watch this. I will give you the numbers. It's just over 1,000 each week. So, number of sales in the first week of August this month, last week, was almost identical to the number of sales in the first week of July last month. So, in July was when the interest rate hike went up a whole 1%, the biggest since I think it was 1998, one-time increase. Interesting. Okay. I thought there was going to be a plunge and a tumbling. And look at the lack of sales. Number of sales last week versus the number of sales in the first week of July this month. This year. So just last month, the same. So there's a 1%. The point I'm trying to make here, this huge effect on the market and the psychology was not so huge at all. We sold pretty much the same number. I think the difference is like 20 homes or something. Literally, like 20 or 30 homes. It's a very small change. Last week, full week of the first week of August to the first week of July last month. What's my point here? This didn't have nearly an effect. It's as if the market just said, meh. Interestingly. Okay, so that's one thing to think about the market. Is it really tumbling? Is it really coming down? Should I be waiting to actually get into the market to buy something, for example? Well, didn't have as much of an effect as people thought. There's one. That's the sales. Now, let's look at price. This is big, guys. And I really, really wanted to. I snagged a bunch of this stuff from other people. Oops. Here we go. I want to move myself here. So, context. Now, first we realized number of overall sales has not suddenly plunged after a huge increase, which means the market is resilient and people who are buying are still somewhat resilient. The housing market in GTA is quite resilient. I hope you guys are gathering that from all these updates in the past few years. Those of you who've been steadily watching these. So, context. This is detached home prices, and again, I use detached because, well, everyone wants a detached home. First of all, unless you're a condo lover, which is a different thing. The point being, high demand, and you saw that the prices of detached homes, on average, this last month, like I shows right here, I literally picked it out of my little graph in the beginning, down 3.1% from July of 2021. Pretty much the same. That's really what it is, with a little grain of salt. Notice these numbers. I wanted you guys to see this. So prices are basically the same as they were last year. So that's not bad if you're looking to buy. But forgive me, you're thinking about, I'm really trying to address those folks who are still waiting for the crash or fall, whatever the heck it is that you're looking to do. Look, you're already at last year's prices for the detached. But look at the drop since February. Look, February of this year, right here. This is Durham region. You can just go right down the line. From February, average detached, to June 2022, average detached. I got these numbers a little while back. I held on to them just to show it to you guys. Down 24%, down 35%, down 20%. In Pickering, which is the best of all of these in Durham, down 10%, 9.9. It's already down 10% since February. And about the same prices there were last year. You can go right down the line. York region, the different cities in York region. Toronto, bulletproof Toronto, still lower. Up to what? Almost 17% over there in Toronto East. So why am I showing you this? I've showed you two very interesting things that I hope I articulated well. If I didn't, just go back, maybe mute me and just look at the numbers. Hope you don't. Anyway, so sales volume last week, same as the first week of July. So it hasn't been this huge hit. No one's going to buy anything. No, still happening. Market's still moving along. And this is summer. This is the slowest time right now. Going into the end of August, this is supposed to be the slowest time, traditionally every year. And there's going to be a fall market, folks. Believe you me, there's going to be a fall market. So look, that's the sales volume. So sales volume is about the normal. Normal prices are in 2021 prices. And the drop has been huge in some places. So prices are lower. The drop has already been huge. And sales are still going on, and you're at high inventory. So again, for those of you who are thinking of possibly entering the market or know people that have been talking about it, but they're just waiting it out. What are you waiting for? Spring market's going to come. There's going to be a lot more competition on the buy side. That happens every year. It happened last year in a crazy year, and it happens every normal year as well. It will happen this year. Will there be more inventory? I don't know. There's pretty high inventory considering we're still, in the beginning of August. It's going to come going down. And as it slowly begins to build up in September, so will the buyer demand. If you're looking to sell and buy, then I would definitely consider it. You can look at prices coming down, absolutely, but so is your is whatever you're buying, as you well know, if you're buying and selling in the same market. So that's something to consider. But for those buyers, I'm really trying to focus on buyers because um, some two people that are really in an advantageous spot. First, you got buyers in general looking to buy something, and then I need to sell anything. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Sales volume is normal, hasn't really been affected. Yes, interest rates are higher, and interest rates might even go up higher still. Should you not then take advantage of they're lower now with these amazingly low prices, considering the huge drops from February of just this year. And the second thing is for those who are looking to upsize, detached went down more than anything else. What do most people want to upsize to? Either a detached home or go from a detached home to a larger detached home. Guys, take advantage. Seriously. Almost 16,000 active listings right now. Was it 15 and a half, 15.3, something like that. It hovers and depends on who you're asking, what time of the week. The point being, there's inventory out there. It's much more inventory than we had last year. I already showed you the numbers. So, no Q&A, forgive me. Should have brought some water with me. But summary. So sales are not tumbling as a result of the interest rates. You saw that. I proved it to you. I showed you. I can actually give you the numbers for those who are actually specifically curious. It's 1,038 or something, 1,020, something like that, for the first week of August and the first week of July. So if you're not buying property because you're waiting for the prices to go down some more, or for whatever reason you have come up with, and I want to be respectful because I understand how big of a situation this is. But again, I'm showing you actual numbers, not my own opinion or thoughts. You may want to reconsider your strategy. So I'm into 11 and a half minutes here. I try to speed this up a little bit. Hopefully it wasn't too fast. Hopefully it wasn't confusing. Guys, I sincerely put this out there for people. I've been trying to get buyers to start thinking about these things. Can the market go down further? We saw the drop from February to June. Well, we're pretty much there. It's a GTA. People are not going to stop buying. Remember, there's always that lull before everybody gets this great idea of going, hey, that guy Andrews, you might be right. And then if 1,000 people get the same right idea, I'd be happy. But you guys would have too much competition on the buy side. So that's the information. You guys let me know if you have any questions. Again, please comment, click subscribe on the YouTube thing. I never sent out anything other than really interesting listing information and a couple of great listings right now. I have actually 3 listings I have in North York just sitting around. One just hit the market. Amazing opportunity. So the point being, not only those, I don't want to hawk my own stuff, so to speak, as good as those properties are. The idea is there's opportunity out there. Guys, take advantage, please. And I'm out. You guys have a fantastic rest of August. I'll see you in the fall. September. See you soon.